What's up, y'all? So I usually don't do videos like this, but I thought I'd put a little information out there because I saw some people on Reddit talking about it. I'm on my way to work. I'll just tell y'all what happened with my experience in the Augusta, Georgia traffic court. So I was clocked on Bobby Jones going 91 in a 65. If you live in Augusta, you know people drive 80, 85 on Bobby Jones all day long. Like, they get away with it all day long. I had a guy in my rear view flashing me to get by me, and I was in a fast lane, so I sped up to go 90. I went 91. I probably was going like 100 actually, to get way past him because I was tired of him riding my ass. And I drove 90, like over 100 probably, and he clocked me going 91. So that's a super speeder in the state of Georgia on a 3-lane road. If you're going over 85, that's a super speeder. So I was gonna go to court, and I did go to court. I waited till May 1st. Today is May 1st. I went to court. I've never been to court before. I just turned 20 years old, but I wanted to see if I can get it reduced 7 miles per hour, just so I can have. I don't mind paying the fee. I just don't want the super speeder on my record. You feel me? So I went to court. It starts at 8:30, and I was told to get there way before 8:30. They said if you get there at 8:30, there's gonna be a line and you're gonna have to wait all day long. And when I got there at 7 o'clock, and they said, nah, nobody can get in until 8:30 for court. If you have jury duty, you can get to jury duty early. So I was waiting till 8:30. I got in line at 8:20. There was about a 50-person line at 8:20 for court. So I guess you could get in line at like 8:15. And you wouldn't have to wait barely at all. Like, you'd be the first one up. But I mean, I sat down. So actually, let me start over. When we got in, they asked you to take off your belt and everything. And then traffic court is on the 3rd floor. So if you don't know where to go, you can just ask one of the cops. You just say, hey, where am I supposed to go? So I asked the cop. He said 3rd floor for traffic. When you get up there, they got these pieces of paper. They say, what's your last name? You tell them your last name. They give you a number. You go inside the courtroom, whichever one they tell you to. You tell the officer your number and your last name. You sit down. For me, since I'm under 21, they pulled me aside with the other guys that are under 21. And the lady was talking about, yeah, since you're under 21, you're probably going to get your license suspended if you plead guilty. Or you can just pay the fine. Or you can do this community service class or whatever it was. It was a TVSP or something. So I was going to do the TVSP, and she was talking. She said, I'm going to talk to you guys individually, one-on-one. So she was talking to some other guys, and I could overhear them, and she was saying, yeah, your license is going to be revoked since you were blah, 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 speeding this amount of power. And I'm like, damn, I'm going to get my license revoked? And then she was like, well, or you could do this class. You'd have to do 20 hours of community service. The 1-day training class in the library, and what was the other thing? Oh, and a $500 fine. Maybe it was $300, somewhere. I'm gonna call it $500. So my ticket, I don't know how much my ticket was. I didn't care to look, but if I had to guess, I'd say it would be more than $500, to be quite honest, since it was a super speeder. So I just overheard that, and I was waiting for her to get to me. There was about 5 of us that were under 21 in that little booth. And while I was waiting, one of the other ladies stood up and she said, Jimmy Jones, whatever their names was, Billy Jones, Timmy Jones, and Colton Swicky. So when they called me up, where they called us, they said, come outside. I walked outside, and they said, your case has been dismissed. Why? I don't know, but not a dime out of my pocket. I don't have to do any courses or anything. So, I mean, just from what I overheard, it doesn't sound like that's a normal thing. Like, they just dismiss cases like that. If I had to guess, the officer was dismissed or something, or terminated, and they just dismissed all of just his cases for that day. I have no idea though. Other than that, from what I overheard was, it does sound like you can get it reduced if you plead no contest. I mean, I can't make you do whatever, you can do whatever you want, but I know if you're a minor, they told us you cannot plead no contest if you're under 21. It's only guilty or not guilty, and I wanted to plead no contest, But see, my plan was to tell them I was going to plead no contest, and then tell them I just wanted to reduce 7 miles per hour since I'm studying for my CDL, which I am studying for my CDL. And my understanding is if you get a CDL and you're a super speeder, either you can't get the CDL or you'll just never get a job since you have a super speeder on record. So that's why I went to court in the first place. I didn't want to have that super speeder on my record. But that's basically it. You know, I didn't see any videos on like what's actually to do when you get to court. So I hope this helped a little bit. It's really not that bad. I think I'll go to court for my next ticket. If I get another ticket in the near future, obviously I'll get one eventually. You know, it doesn't hurt. From what I do know though is if you plead guilty, they made it sound like you're basically going to get your license suspended or revoked. I think no contest is the greatest option. And then if you plead not guilty, they'll reset a trial date, a court date, and you'll have to go back again. I don't know what your case is or whatever, but basically what I'm trying to tell you is if you plead not guilty, or if you plead guilty, you're basically gonna, like literally anything, they'll just revoke your license, which is, you know, not ideal. But like I said, even if you get in there and they say, all right, if you plead guilty, we're gonna revoke your license, my understanding is you can just be like, all right, I'll pay the fine, no problem, and just walk out the door. You just have the points on your license and everything. But thank God I didn't have to deal with any of that. You know, I got let free. I really appreciate that. I hope you'll have a good experience in the Augusta, Georgia traffic court or wherever you're at. Or hopefully most courts are the same. But y'all have a good one.